All right, it is 11:02. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and get started. Maybe some folks will trickle in, but that's all right. So to those who've joined, thanks so much for joining us today. This is the first of a few workshops we're hosting this summer. So, um, our intention, Progoti's intention with these workshops is to kind of provide an intimate, group to get an opportunity to learn, interact, network, and develop some new skills along the way, alongside, fellow community members as well as our, guest speakers. So we're really grateful to all the guest speakers we have lined up this summer who've offered their time to showcase and discuss their particular topics. So this is the first time we're doing this, so please bear with us if there's any issues. But yeah, we really hope you have a good experience. One note, as part of the presentation, just feel free to type any questions in the chat directly, and where possible, Skyda will answer, but we will definitely have a dedicated time towards the end to go through all the questions and discuss in more detail. So without further ado, I do want to introduce Skyda today and let him take the floor from here. So Sky Basu has spent 4 decades building technology companies with 5 ventures and 2 successful exits. And he started his first company at the age of 25. So a career that spans from large corporations to early stage startups. He currently leads AI compiler validation at AMD. He has seen multiple technology cycles reshape how people work, which roles disappear and which ones emerge. So that long view is what he brings to the question on every professional's mind today. What does AI mean for my career? Skyda's perspective is practical, not theoretical. He believes AI is best understood not as a threat to be feared, but as a capable colleague to be directed. And that the people who thrive are the ones who build a working practice, not just an opinion. So in this session, he is going to share a concrete framework for treating AI as an ally for personal and professional growth, drawn from his real experience advertising professionals navigating exactly these same transitions. Skyda is based in San Francisco Bay Area. So without further ado, Skyda, the floor is all yours.
All right. Thank you, Richard. Just I'll spend 30 seconds for the context of this particular presentation. So when I meet people in a social or professional kind of gathering, I hear a lot of questions. Nobody tells explicitly that if I get laid off tomorrow, what should I do? But I can feel there is an anxiety underlying their discussion and underlying some of the questions they ask. So I thought it may be a good idea to have some kind of discussion among people who are interested. And thank you, Progoti, for giving me that platform for that. Uh, so what we would like to do today is this is a very high level. So some of you, I'm sure, that are deep into AI. For them, it may appear to be a little lightweight and too generic. But at the same time, there will be people, I'm sure, that who are possibly kind of trying to figure out how to use AI, right? So, and we'll see, we have got some 3 polls in between. So we will see that the distribution of the attendees here. So let me start with sharing my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. So let's start with a very basic kind of thing, which is to kind of see that what we are going to cover today, right? So first of all, this is the question. As I told you that nobody explicitly asked that question, but that's the kind of anxiety. But that anxiety is really with respect to different uh, kind of, I would say that for different levels of people, for the entry level people, it is really that how do I get a job tomorrow? For mid-level people, maybe it is what if I'm laid off tomorrow? Maybe for senior people that I'm not getting a job because of my age, right? So there are many such questions there. Uh, we will actually also get a handle of where are you with respect to this AI path or AI journey, right? As I said, that some of you are very, very deep into AI, but possibly not everybody. Uh, we'll talk about how to work with AI. This is actually very important that sometimes we use AI in a particular way, which we possibly use less than 10% of the capability. So there is a better way to actually use AI for your purpose, and we'll discuss about that. And first, we'll do a live demo of a career coach, when AI is our career coach. Okay. And I will be showing you in real time how to use AI as a career coach, and that's just one of the examples. Uh, we'll also use AI for the contractor red flags. This is just this is actually a very interesting thing because I use it all the time. That I get different kinds of agreements, contracts, etc., and I use AI to really review it and tell me what are the red flags, etc. Right? So that's another live demo. Yeah, if everybody can mute, I think that will be the best. Uh, then we go into this posture. So this is with respect to where you are in your career. And we'll discuss about all these different points in your career and how to use AI for each one of them. And this is the last live demo, which is the company of one. This is another very interesting kind of use case we'll be discussing. Okay, and that's it. Then the rest is up to you. You can actually take it from here and start working on AI. And I'll be available for any kind of discussion, any kind of question after this presentation, of course, and I can extend time beyond 12 o'clock if you want, if you guys want to discuss this. But I'm also available after this session through my email, through my WhatsApp, and also Progoti has created a Slack channel for this. And I think that is great because that will give us a platform for discuss amongst ourselves the questions, the ideas, and help each other, right? All right, let's go to our first live poll. So this is our intro poll to find out that the distribution of the different professional focus. Okay. Shani, can you please? Yeah. Okay. So can you please submit the poll? So we'll give 10, 15 seconds. Now find out the closest one. It may not have exactly the same profession as you are. All right, let's see. Product management, 8%, sales and marketing, 8%. Oh, okay, so sorry. Software is a 54%, not a surprise in Bay Area. Hardware, 15%, product management, 8%, sales and marketing, 8%. Okay, and life science, 8%, others, 8%. Okay, so obviously software is the maximum one, which makes sense. All right, so Shiny, you can actually close this one. The thing is that I have tried to make this presentation as generic as possible, though I had a feeling that it will be mostly IT people, but I don't want to focus on the IT people. They are already pretty much exposed to AI, but for the rest of the people, I think it will be more interesting because I have made actually the use cases and the examples as generic as possible. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the next question. So where are we? Uh, where are you, as a matter of fact? So you can say that I'm aware. Uh, I have a Chat GPT subscription, or even not have a free subscription. I have typed a couple of prompts in my life. I have not typed anything in the last 30 days. So that is what aware is. Then you are experimenting. So you have tried a couple of different tools. You have used ChatGPT, you have used Claude for different kinds of things, but you are not really sure how to really use it. That's experimenting. Now, integrated. This is possibly something which you want to be, where you are using AI every day and for your daily work. It can be as simple as searching for something in Google to create different kinds of documents, PPT, PowerPoint presentation, working on Excel, etc. That's integrated. Fluent, when the actual work you do, whether it is your professional work in your company or your some of the personal work, you have actually using AI to automate the whole or part of that workflow. That is what Fluent is. And then finally, leveraged, that you can see your productivity has increased uh, kind of many times. I would say anything between 2x to 10x. If your productivity has increased because of using AI, then you are really leveraged. Okay. So, Tiny, let's put the poll for fluency. All right. Hope we have got answers. All right. Oh, beautiful. So we have aware 7%, experimenting 7%, integrated 20%, fluent 33%, and leverage 33%. So 66%, that means two-thirds of the group is actually fluent and leverage. That's a wow. This is a very AI-enabled group, I must say. But as far as the aware and experimenting and integrated, I suppose there are room to kind of work on all of those, and that will be our focus today. Okay, and uh, and especially I would say the integrated. Uh, so that is something I would say the baseline. I would say the ground floor for your AI fluency. And this is typically what happens in my experience. Of course, that is one thing which is not surprising in Bay Area, but everywhere else I find it's a little bit different. So most of the room sits at stage 2, which is the experimenting, right? But in our case here, it's actually fluent and leverage. Uh, that's actually very good. All right, let's move on. Uh, so one of the basic question is how to use AI, right? And in most of the cases, we use AI as a tool. So as a tool means we use the chat. That is our primary interface. And in the chat, we ask a question in terms of a prompt, and we get an answer, right? And that is the most popular way. That is an obviously a very easy way to do it. Uh, but we are, as I said, that we are just scratching the surface of the capability of AI at this point of time. So the question is how to use AI more effectively. You do not use AI, but you work with it. That means it is as if your colleague, a very smart, fast, and sometimes very confidently wrong colleague you have just hired, right? And if you have somebody like that, then how do you use that coworker effectively to help in your work? One great thing about AI is that it never talks back. It never kind of stops. It goes on working. Uh, and of course, you don't have to have small talks with them as well. So these are all the good things about AI. But remember that if you know the shortcomings of AI, that makes it even more useful because you know how to take care of those shortcomings. Okay. All right. Now, as I said, that you don't use AI, but you work with it. The first thing is you have to hire this person or this role. Uh, and we'll talk about that there are different kinds of AI models, products are available. So which one to use, which one to hire, right? There are many. Then we have to tell them that what is the context? Just like if you hire a intern, super smart intern, you have to tell him or her that what is the work about, how to work, what is your expectation, and all of those things. So that is the brief, right? Then in, I would say 90% of the cases, the first answer or first output it produces is not necessarily the best. So you have to iterate. You have to work through by fine tuning, by asking the AI to improve on various aspects of the output, right? And this is possibly the most time consuming part, the iterative one, because that is where you are actually improving the output. And remember that while you are doing that, AI is also kind of understanding that your point of view, what you like, what you don't like, etc. This is actually another very interesting aspect that more you work with AI understands you more and better. So the next time when you ask him a question, it actually gives you a better answer. So the iteration takes possibly less time next time when you are asking a question. And finally, the most important part, verify. As I said, that AI confidently answers sometimes wrong, mistaken, incorrect, fact. Uh, and you need to verify it because at the end of the day, the output which you are sharing with others or you are using even for yourself is your responsibility. You can't really say that, well, I used AI to generate it and it did a mistake. I'm sorry. No, because it is your output at the end of the day. So you need to verify all the facts, everything you have to check and see that whether you feel comfortable to actually share that, to actually use it. Okay. Now let's go through each one of them individually. The step one, hire, right? So depending on your type of the job, you can actually use one of the models. So there are actually, I would say there are, if you ask me, there are four models which are the foundational frontier model, as they say, from US, and there are few models from China as well. Okay, and we are fast moving to a point where all of these models are so capable and they are so close to each other that possibly it does not matter so much that what you choose. They are becoming a commodity. But saying that, there are certain subtle differences in terms of how do they actually respond. Their capability may be the same, and I'll give you an example. The two top models, one is the ChatGPT from OpenAI, another is a Claude from Anthropic. So it is a general, I would say, perception, there is no proof in that, but a general perception that it is easier to chat with Claude. Claude works and the answers it gives is a much more nuanced, much more, I would say, intelligent and things like that. Whereas the ChatGPT, at least the older version, ChatGPT is more trying to please you sometimes. They will say that you are the most intelligent person in the world. This is the greatest idea I've ever seen, and those kind of things. Also, sometimes it is also act as a little bit more like a, I would say, a little bit savant kind of thing. It will answer not too much with the emotion and other things. So Claude, people, that's why prefer Claude more than the ChatGPT. But saying that, in the last 2 days, last Friday, actually the situation has changed. This ChatGPT 5.6 came out. This is the latest model from ChatGPT. It is both as capable as Claude. Actually, Claude's most capable model is called the Fable 5. ChatGPT 5.6 is almost as good as Fable 5, and they are becoming much more capable in other areas also, better than Claude. So, answering that, these are the general work. These are my suggestion. Not really, you have to pick any of them. Oh, I said there are four, right? The third one is Gemini from Google, right? Gemini from Google is one good thing about Google is that they have embedded it in everywhere. So if you go to the Google search, what you get at the top is an answer from Gemini. Also, you can use Gemini from your Gmail, from any of the Google Sheets and Word, all of those things. And the fourth one is Grok from Elon Musk, right? XAI. I would say that Grok has a little bit mixed kind of feedback from the users, because they find that sometimes it actually gives you a very, very wrong answer, kind of intentionally, because it was trained that way. All right, so that's the general work. If you are using long documents, then Claude or NotebookLM. NotebookLM is another one, another product from Google, and that's actually a very interesting product. What I don't want to do it in this particular session to go through each of the model and how to use them and how to, what is their specialty and other things. Surely you can ask AI about NotebookLM and it will give you a detailed kind of ways how NotebookLM is better and the way to use it. For example, you can generate a complete audio podcast version of your document as if two persons are talking to each other about your documents. That is possible in doing NotebookLM. If you want to do the research with sources, this is Perplexity is actually is very reliable. By the way, Perplexity is started by an Indian guy who's done his, I think, graduation from IIT Madras, Chennai. So this is also good, Perplexity. But remember, your Chat GPT or Claude you can use for any of them as well. And finally, for coding, if you're interested in coding, the two most popular one are the Cursor and the Cloud Code. But again, Friday, things have changed. ChatGPT 5.6 and its companion coding version called the Codex is now as good or even better in some cases. Okay, so you can choose just one of them and go on working it. There is a free version, but I would say that if you're serious, get a subscription. Anything between 17 bucks for Claude to 20 bucks for ChatGPT, and that should be enough for most of your work. All right. Next is step 2. So this is something which is very important, and this is what is in the last 2 years, it is known as the prompt engineering, right? So it says that when you are creating a prompt, when you are asking a question, when you are giving context, you have to do like this. You have to tell the AI what is its role. So it's like the intern, right? So you can tell the intern, okay, so you are basically you need to bring coffee. That is your role, nothing else. But of course, not yet AI can bring coffee. I'm sure that in physical AI, in a couple of years, they will be able to do that also. But here you have to tell the role that you are, for example, expert in financial analysis, or you are actually a medical expert. So that is the role. That way it can actually knows that what kind of output at what level you are actually expecting. Next is context. You have to tell him or tell it that who you are, what you are doing, because at the end of the day, think about it, it is coming from you, right? So unless it has the context of who you are, then it will be a very, very generic. There is no kind of nothing there which tells you that it is from you. Then the task, the actual thing, what you want it to do, right? That's a task. And finally, in what format you want. Do you want a long document? Do you want a short document? Do you want a PowerPoint? Do you want an Excel spreadsheet? Do you want whatever format you want? And it can actually create many, many different kinds of formats, right? So these are all the 4 things. And I will actually do a quick demo of how actually these things work. A very quick demo. Let's go to. So what I'm using today here is Claude. And look at here, this is a free plan. Why did I do it? Because if I use my own subscription of Claude, it knows so much about me that whatever question I ask, it already uses its memory and its knowledge about me, which will not be very useful for this particular webinar, right? So that's why I created a new account with a free plan, which does not have any information about me, okay? So what I want to do is that the first demo, I want to show you that if I want to do, I'm asking it to write a LinkedIn post about AI, okay? And let me start it. There is no other thing, just that particular. And so for each one, it will take a few seconds. Okay, so this is the answer, right? So interestingly, it actually answered given our current questions, right? I don't know how did it know it. But if you read it, you will see that this is not very nuanced. This does not talk about me. This can come from anybody, right? So let me give you a better prompt just to show you that how it will look like. And as a matter of fact, I'll create a new chat and give it from here without any context from the previous session. So it says that you are a writing coach who helps mid-career professional sounds human on LinkedIn, right? That's the role. I'm an engineer, 15 years in, teaching myself AI on the side. This is my first post about it. That's the context. Write a 120-word LinkedIn post about one concrete thing I learned this week using AI, told as a short story, not a list of tips. And the format is conversational, first person, no buzzword, no hashtags, end with one open question that invites reply. Okay, so it is asking that give me a rough, unpolished version. So this is a kind of a little bit of iteration it is asking me. So I would say that select yourself. So this is what it wrote. I asked an AI to find out the bug in a function I'd been starting at for an hour. It gave me an answer instantly, confident, clean, totally wrong, right? And so if you look at this, this is the first person, and it talks about my experience of 15 years as a programmer. That gives the context, right? And with the question at the end, right? Why? Because in the LinkedIn, given this question, you are expecting people will give some comments, some answers, and things like that, right? So this is just a demonstration of how the prompt that is where did it go? Uh, so this is the one, right? Role, context, task, and format. How does it change it? Okay. Now let's go to the third stage, iterate. As I said, the first answer we got, the output about the LinkedIn post, it's okay, but not necessarily the best, right? So I can push for more specific, saying that, okay, make the point too concrete with one example, or make it like that, what is the strongest argument against that, right? So that I can kind of address it firsthand. Also, we can say that, okay, it's too long. Now put it in a half the size, right? So 3 rounds are normal, but you can use five rounds, 10 rounds, whatever, until you are satisfied. And you see that it doesn't take much time. It actually takes a few seconds to actually get each of this iteration. So you should do it, you must do it, okay? And the last one is verify. This is something which is, as I said, is very important. AI hallucinates. That means it creates things which doesn't exist. As a matter of the couple of years back, I asked about myself, and it created a resume of me which is completely made up, right? And that was so funny. So you have to confirm every number, every name, every claim it makes in the output. It also, you have to actually read it. The best way to do it is that read it loudly. And if you can record it, then you will realize that if the tone is correct or not. Because sometimes people say that it's too mechanical, too robotic, right? So you can actually fine tune the tone as well. And finally, the accountability, that remember that if something goes wrong, if there is a wrong fact, there is something you have referred, and sometimes AI actually creates references which are completely made up, including the name of the paper, the name of the writers, everything. even the date, and it will sound so real that you will think, oh, yeah, this must be real. But actually, it is made up. Okay. Now, if you have a long document, how do you really verify it? Because manually verifying it is not easy, right? And it is time consuming. So what I do is that I use one AI against another. So let's say I create a output document, a long document with a lots of things using Claude. I give it to ChatGPT and ask it to review it and create a detailed review report for everything, line by line, every fact, and check it to see that if everything is okay. And in most of the cases, let's say 99% of the cases, it comes out with a list of things which it did not like. Either it is wrong. One of the most important things are that there are assumptions AI will make, which is not clearly mentioned in the output itself, right? So those assumptions also come out in the review. So I bring back the review to Claude and say that, okay, these are review of your output. Now correct itself. And also, if you want to push back for any of the review result, tell me. In most of the cases, it accepts all the reviews, but in some of the cases, it can push back and say that this point number 7, I think this point number 7 assumes X, but I've assumed Y. Tell me which one to assume, X or Y, right? So things like that. It's a fascinating kind of thing you would be able to do. And you can do it in iteration till the review comes back and says, we are good. We are ready to go. Then only you are ready to go. Okay? All right. Now, what we said, hire, brief, iterate, verify. Remember the mnemonics. Hire, brief, iterate, verify. Okay? Every time you must do it. If you don't do it, then you are not using the full capability of AI. And as I also mentioned, you use AI to do all of these things as well, right? For example, the iteration, you are working with AI to iterate. Verify, you can use another AI to actually verify. So it is not necessarily that you have to actually manually do that. So let's go into some demos. The first one is AI as your career coach. Okay, let's do it. So what I'd like to do is, hold on. Let me go to, so again, I'm back to Claude. I'm creating a new chat. Okay, and I have the career coach. So first I have uh, a resume of a made up person, right? And her name is Priya Nair. Okay, very simple thing. And I also have a target job. Okay, so let me show you the target job. So this is the target job, product manager, right, of Aurora Labs. Okay, now what I'll do is that my first prompt is, so it says that you are a career coach who has placed people into product management roles. Yes, specially focused on product management. Okay, you see that I could have said just, you are just a career coach, but I'm looking at the product management as my kind of future role. So that's why I said that specialized in product management. I'm attaching my resume and a job description for the role I want. Read both and tell me the 3 biggest gaps between where I am and what this role needs. be specific, and honest. Okay. And what I'll do, I will actually drag and drop the resume and the target job here for giving it the context, right? And let's see what it comes up with. Uh, so first of all, it says a zero evidence of product ownership because the person, he is actually a project manager, not a product manager, right? Only delivery execution, right? Number two, no AI/ML literacy signaled anywhere, right? No customer discovery evidence, right? One honest meta point, your title is project manager and your whole document reinforces that framing. A hiring manager skimming for 6 seconds will file you as delivery, not product. Got it? All right. So Priya is a little bit disappointed that given this, what should I do? Okay. What should Priya do next? So the Priya says that take the gap number 1 and build me 90-day plan to close it because Priya wants to be a product manager. So she wants to actually become a product manager. So it will give you a kind of complete timeline of how you actually work on it. And it will actually create, if you want, create the complete, I would say, the course content of every step, what you read, what you do, including the tutorials and other things, right? It can actually create that deep. So it says that over the next 3 months, what do you do? Then it says that, let's say I have already done that. And it says, Priya says that now I'm ready. I want to go for the interview. So give me the role play, the Aurora Labs hiring manager, and give me some questions. You see, the questions are not, these are non-trivial questions. It's not just any questions. So walk me through a time you decided not to build something. Now remember that if you have not done anything like that, it is difficult to answer those questions. Okay. Tell me about the last AI or ML-powered product feature you use as a user. What do you think its quality metrics, etc. Right? So there are a few of these 5 interview questions, and you can actually prepare for those questions if you're ready. And finally, it says, Priya says, that rewrite my resume, right? And you don't want to kind of add things which is not true, right? So what you have to do is basically you are asking it to rewrite, focusing on the product management. Now, your experience was project manager, right? So I kept every fact from your original, same number, same scope, and changed only the framing to surface the product judgment and problem definition angle that's actually there, but currently hidden. Okay. So that's what it allows you to do. So anybody looking for a job, looking for a change, right? Even within the same organization, you want to move laterally, you should go through this particular exercise. That will make you more aligned to your future role. Okay? All right. Now, so that was our AI as your career coach. Now let's go to, so these are the 4 things we discussed, right? With the AI: gaps, 90 days plan, interview, and repositioning. Okay. Now, the second demo I want to show is that I'm a contractor and I am talking to a customer, a potential customer. They have sent me their standard contract. Okay.
So, Saida,
Now,
just a heads up. We are
yeah.
almost 13 minutes left. And I think there are a few questions in the chat, which I think people would be like, are curious after your presentation. So can we go through, because I think there are two tracks here, of people.
Let me finish the demo quickly.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
then we can do that. Okay, so this is something which you can use for your personal thing as well. So basically, contract has been sent to me, and I would like to see that if the contract is right for me. So let me go to the new chat, and this is the contract. This is the standard contract from my potential customer. Okay. And what I'd like to do is that I'd like to ask, first of all, I will put the contract here, and then I would like to ask the question. So you're an advisor to independent consultants, right? I just went solo and a prospective client sent me their standard. So these are the red flags, right? They can walk away anytime you can't. You own nothing you make and can't even talk about it. You are on the hook for everything with no ceiling. You are locked out of your own industry. Bad, right? And then I want to send a counter proposal. So this is just an example of one particular one, the liability and indemnification, right? And this is what I want. Okay. So these actually I use on a regular basis for my personal as well as professional kind of any kind of document, contract, agreement, etc., to find out whether it makes sense or not for me. Okay. Now, this is typically used to be done by the lawyers. And by the way, if you if it is a really serious thing, then possibly you should consult a lawyer. But in most of the cases, this will give you enough good result to start the discussion. Okay. All right. Then let's go to this. This is actually just 90 seconds. So as I said, that there are a lot of anxiety, right? Now there are people, 8 in 10 are actually using generative AI. The one we are talking about, the Claude and the ChatGPT, etc. World Economic Forum, they actually predicts by 2030, there will be 78 million new jobs, net new jobs, right? 170 million created minus 92 million displaced. And finally, there is an 82% increase in the AI/ML specialist roles, right? Now, specialist doesn't mean that you have to be coding the frontier models. No, of course not. It means that you know how to use AI. By the way, one question people will ask that, will AI replace me? The answer is no. The person who will be replacing you is not AI. It will be another person, but who is more capable in using AI effectively. So which basically means you have to be that person. So that's why we are doing this, this seminar, okay?
Thank you, Skaida. So I think there are I see there's a couple of questions on the
Okay, let's go ahead with the questions. Okay.
yeah, because I think that will be okay, so let me go through the first question. So first question is about that you talked about the Claude and the Fable, like the Claude the Fable and the GPT in the new one which came this Friday. So people have the question that is there a, like how do we know that this GPT 5.6 is doing a better job? That is one of the questions.
Okay, so the answer is not easy. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
think the way you have to see it, that what you're using it for. Obviously, there is a whole class of people, and if you go to YouTube videos, you will see already tens of videos there who are comparing uh, ChatGPT 5.6 with Fable and Sonnet and Opus and things like that, right? And they will tell you that there are certain things which Claude does better, and there are certain things where what ChatGPT does better.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it will depend on what you are trying to do. If you are doing just the coding, okay, for coding, still people feel that Cloud Code is better, but it's expensive. The new Codex 5.6, I was told, and I have not done it myself, but I was told that it is not as good, but sometimes it's better than Cloud Code, and it's cheaper. So you can try it and see it for yourself and then decide which one to use. The bottom line is that 5.6 is as capable as Claude Code. I'm a big Anthropic supporter. I'm using Claude for the last 2 years for everything. But this 5.6 has started me thinking that there may be an alternative also. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, the next is that is there a metrics to choose between the options you mentioned, like Gemini, Claude, or GPT? Like, how would you decide?
Again, I think this is the basically the same question in a different form, that it depends on your work. Try it with your work and decide which one you like the most.
Mhm.
Some, as I said, that they are capability wise, they are very, very similar. And that the small differences they might have at a very, very complex level, at a very kind of deep into the work level, that you may not face immediately. For most of your work, they will work equally. The difference is more on you feeling comfortable with a particular tool
Mhm.
and particular way it actually answers. As I said, that many people say, including myself, that Claude responses, Claude answers I like it more than the other, both Gemini and ChatGPT. I used to like it more. I don't know. I've not used the ChatGPT 5.6 yet, so I cannot really say definitively that Claude is still better in responding. The fact remains the same. All the content remains the same. Only thing, the way it responds is I like it, right? So my answer to you is that it may be a little disappointing answer, that try it yourself. And you can try all of them in the free mode for ask the same question to three of them, four of them, and see the answer, which one you like. Do it 5 times, 10 times, different kinds of questions, and see which one you like most. Okay?
Okay. So I think we have a few more questions. Ayan, would you like to maybe ask your question? So that is just not me talking, but I see very good questions from Ayan, Richa, and Medha on the group.
So I
Yeah.
was no, it's more of an expectation than question. So Skaida, I was actually hoping. I mean, first of all, you have shown how to write resume using AI, so on and so forth. But while that is helping, that is also it's a general comment. But that is also causing problem for most of the industry. That we are seeing a flood of plagiarism and falsification, hyperboles, and so forth, and it is becoming harder to screen for a better candidate. On the other hand, I was hoping that you would go through some granular breakdown of the psychological changes and how someone who maybe, as you correctly pointed out, maybe not so familiar with AI or somewhat familiar with AI, get married to AI and go through through the process of getting laid off, and how they can bounce back. Rather, you have, I mean, again, you have talked through how to use AI, how to get familiarized, but not much connection to the theme of the how to this presentation of what if I get laid off. That
Okay.
was something.
That is a very important question, and I could not reach here. Uh, so this is the answer to your question. So there are four postures you can take with respect to your current career. Enter is when you are kind of new graduate, or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of experience, more of a trying to enter into the field, or even those who are actually looking for a job at the mid-level, at a senior level, etc. So those are the enter. Defend is that when you are in the particular position in a company and you have an anxiety that tomorrow I may get laid off, what should I do? There is a lot of AI talk in the company. Company is investing a lot in AI. So how should I defend my position? Extend is that how can I grow into a bigger position, bigger role where I can use AI for that. And finally, the pivot is that I want to change completely to something else, right? So that is what that is. Now for the enter, I think I have shown some of the things that what you can do in enter, right? The resumes and other things, right? So that you can actually work on that. Uh, Defend, actually, interestingly, defend is something, it will be counterintuitive a little bit, that look at all the workflows, all the work you do, and take the top three and you automate them using AI. Now, it is counterintuitive. You are saying that, what? The work I was doing and now AI will do it. Doesn't it make me kind of redundant and I'll get laid off because of that? The interesting thing is that if you do not do it, somebody else will do it. And then you will really be redundant. But if you do it, then you will be the owner of that AI workflow, right? And so it is very important to position yourself in the company as a AI leader, not only leader in terms of actually implementing it in the workflows to make it more productive, more efficient, better results and everything. So that is the defend. Extend is also very similar kind of thing. You pick up one area which you see is not being automated right now, but you feel that that will have a great opportunity in the company. So take that, though it is not within your immediate work area, but pick up that and do the automation and show to your bosses, the executives, that this is what you have done, why you have done that, and this is the result. That will extend you. And finally, pivot is that you are changing the lens completely, right? Uh, Maybe you are going on your own. And as a entrepreneur myself, I would tell you this is the greatest time, the best time in the whole history of universe, that you can actually create your own company using a bunch of AI agents as your colleagues to do almost every aspects of the company. So that was actually my next demo, company of own, right? And these are the different AIs you can hire for doing the different aspects of the company. So I don't think I have answered your question 100% about the psychology and things like that. But and also I mentioned that this is a very high level for more of the generic kind of thing for everybody, not for the IT especially though. And there are people who are maybe already they are using AI in a full capacity in a way. Okay.
Thank you. I mean, if you are doing a follow up, I'd love to. I was particularly interested in this one, the diagram you're showing now, and some more granular stuff. If you are doing more, and we'll probably have more time to question and answer. For example, you have said that build a portfolio, but then again, companies don't really, weigh in on something I did on silo on my own versus my practical experience. So those kind of things I would like to ask later if I ever get the time.
Absolutely. And Ayun, we can always connect individually. You can send me a kind of direct message and we can connect it. No problem.
Sure, thank you.
All right.
So,
Okay, Shani?
yeah, so we have so Medha, you had a question, and I think we have a comment from Kim Shu also that would be great if you plan a next section on building agents. Have a good perspective and presentation today. So let's, Medha, maybe you can ask your question if you're here.
Yeah. So my question was revolving around agentic tools as well. I guess the question is, what do you think the line is between like how do we trade off? Wait, hold on. But because these agentic codes, they give AI more autonomy over our actions and our coding. So what's the trade-off between that and reliability in our code? Like where do we draw that line?
Yeah. That's a very relevant question. That, by the way, let me quickly define what is agent. So what I have shown so far as demo, where we are asking some questions through prompt and AI is giving answer, right? AI is not doing anything as an action, rather than just answering question. Now, if we allow agent to do work, and what kind of work? It can actually change a document. For example, I have created an Excel spreadsheet and I ask it to kind of change it based on certain requirement. And it will actually do in place. Claude has an extension for plugin for Excel, and it will allow you to do that. Or it can send an email on your behalf. The new Claude, new 5.6 ChatGPT, they are extremely capable in controlling the browser. That means you can, as a matter of fact, ask it to go and find out a particular travel itinerary and find out the best hotel, the best airfare, etc., etc. And it will find this out. It will even wait for you for giving the final go ahead to really book them. It will not handle the credit card numbers, that you have to do it manually. But other than that, almost it can do everything using the browser or even the local apps, your own personal proprietary apps as well. So Meta, the question is that the reliability and how do you, it goes back to that question that how do you actually verify whether it is a code, whether it is a document, and I have kind of shared some of the ways you can do it, right? And especially for coding, there are ways. Remember that I said that prompt engineering, after the prompt engineering came the context engineering. And now what we are talking about is called the harness engineering. So Meda, I think it will be a good segue to have another session which will focus on the AI coding itself using the harness engineering. And in the harness engineering, you can actually put multiple AI agents to work against each other. There is something called GAN, G-A-N, Generative Adversarial Network. Some of you may be familiar with that, which basically say that use one AI as an adversary to another AI to really challenge at every stage what they are creating, okay? So you can create an harness for that. So that is obviously is not the topic for today, but I'll be very happy to do that session in future. Hope you got the answer.
Medha, did it answer? Or do you have any other follow-up thoughts?
No, yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Okay. I think next question is from Ankit. Maybe you can ask your question and then we'll go to Richa.
Hello, Skyda. Thank you for the wonderful session. Actually, I heard this a lot about company of one, like a single person billionaire and all that thing, for almost like a 2 years. But I haven't come across any example where people have shown how they are actually doing it. Because the point is that all this thing AI can do with like legal and marketing and stuff, but even the API cost will like be so high that even like Ubers and Microsoft are rethinking how they are going to use like cloud code subscription for their own employees. So I don't know how anybody is making profit out of it.
Yeah, so okay, I think what you are assuming is that this business will be using AI as one of the components, which is obviously a valid kind of assumption for software companies, not just software hardware companies, where you use the AI models as a part of your product offering. But what I would like to say is that the company you are going to create, it is not required to be even an IT company. As a matter of fact, the example I got for today, what I wanted to show was actually an Indian food truck company, right? Because that is something which is so non-high tech that even you can use AI for that to create the business, to run the business. Obviously, your product is food. Your product is kati roll and maybe dosas and pav bhajis and things like that, right? It's a food truck. So what I want to say is that the company, the product you are making is not required to be a high-tech company. It can be a life science company, that can be a service company. You are giving actually uh, basically service in the patient care, for example, right? No high-tech. It is a person-to-person kind of thing. So those are all possible where you can use AI, not just for planning for it, but also you can use it for running it. Uh, so, and this is a whole topic altogether. Uh, as a matter of fact, this brings me to this field guide. I want to show you what I have created, and this has got all the things I have discussed here. I could not show you a demo of one person business, right? But I have created 3 solo business for each of the different areas which you have mentioned, right? And the thing is that yes, you are right that it can be expensive to use the APIs. The quick answer to that is that, as a matter of fact, there are some Chinese models which are very cheap. Even Gemini you can use very inexpensively. Again, depending on what you are trying to do, there are different kinds of options. And if you have a particular idea, please reach out to me. I'd happy to kind of discuss that. And here is actually, I have put my email address, WhatsApp, and Progoti has actually created a Slack channel, okay? And that Slack channel, I would suggest you to join there, and where we can discuss, we can ask questions each other, we can help each other. I'll be available there, and there are other people who are possibly much more knowledgeable in many other areas. They'll be able to answer that also. Okay, Shiny?
Yeah.
So
So
Skyda, one thing, Skyda. So Ankit, Kim Shukda, and me, all three talked about the same topic that you need to give another presentation. I can always connect with you one to one, but I believe if you do another one and take it to the next level, which you could not get time to talk about, everybody will get benefited. And I'm sure
Absolutely.
the same thing is in mind of many of us who are not speaking yet. Please do that if
yeah.
possible.
Yes, actually, I am very well-made point, and we know that. And Shayoni and Richard, they will have actually a post
Survey.
post meeting survey, and there you can choose what will be the most kind of interesting area for you, and based on that we can actually have future sessions, and we'd love to do that.
Yeah, we
Thank
just scratched the surface here. So I know there's a lot of interest in, diving deeper. So I think there's two main topics, we kind of talked about today that folks are interested in, maybe more like using agents and also entrepreneurship with AI, right? So we'll definitely send out a survey, probably to your email or via Eventbrite, very soon after this. And, we would be happy to work with Skyda again, on figuring out, the best what are the best topics for this particular audience, right? That's one of our main goals here. Like whoever is showing up, we want to make sure what we provide is going to be useful for you. So this is just the surface. This is our first time doing this, and we'll definitely have follow-up sessions as well. But yeah, thank you so much, Skyda. I had one more question if we have time, or if anyone else wants to ask questions. And then one more comment. I did send the Slack workspace link in the chat. So feel free to use that link to join. And I've also mentioned in the chat the specific channel. So feel free to join that as well. But yeah, Skyla, if you have time for one more quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I kind of have this like overall high level question, right? Just thinking back to how like AI is affecting the environment and also like human skills. So I feel like there's a couple of things. One, we're wasting, maybe not wasting, but we're using a lot of environmental resources to automate tasks that maybe to a certain extent people can already do. They can now just do faster or, a little bit better. So at some point, if this infrastructure fails tomorrow, right, we're losing a little bit of our self-reliance, but also, our environment. So how do we kind of prevent AI from eroding the basic skills that we do have today that maybe we're kind of starting to depend on AI for?
Risha, that is such an important question today, right? Unfortunately, I don't think this will be the right kind of forum to do that. If you want, I think we should have an open discussion about that. It may appear based on today's this presentation that I am a champion for AI, which I am kind of. I'm really, really excited about how AI can be used. But at the same time, what Richard just explained or it kind of mentioned, that we are at a point where it is the best of the time and the worst of the time kind of thing. That the way these data centers are using energy, using resources, the water, for example, and that will be devastating. Uh, Now, there is an interesting kind of discussion going on that maybe the data centers are not needed, that big data centers. We have possibly come to a point where it is saturated. But more importantly, I think that there has to be a discussion, and I would suggest that we should have not a presentation, but more of a discussion kind of thing where all the people who are interested to both to learn and contribute to talk together. I am not an expert on that, but of course I have got my own opinions, and I'd like to hear about others as well. But this is something which is very important. And as we discuss how to use AI, we need to also discuss that what AI can bring to this world as either as a calamity or maybe either a dystopia or maybe something really great. Uh, so that is something I think you may want to keep that as a future discussion.
Yeah, it sounds like a good topic maybe for our Slack channel. So,
Yes,
So it
yes.
seems you should have mentioned that Musk is planning to build a data center. He just responded in space. So
oh man.
Right, right. That is true. That is true. Uh,
Okay, so maybe Richa, you can give a quick insight
Yeah.
into Pragati, because I think a lot of people don't know here, and we had a few people joining from India as well. So maybe you guys can, if you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to, add up in our survey as well. So maybe you can give a quick, insight about us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we're still a fairly new kind of group under AOB, which is the, Association of Bengalis that's primarily based in the Bay Area. So, these events that we host, both in person, remote, networking opportunities, also just social events, we kind of do everything. So, mainly just a space that's open to everyone. You don't have to be Bengali per se. Like, this is open truly to everybody who's interested. And our main goal here is to kind of develop like a professional network for early career as well as, anybody who would like to join. And we want to foster mentorship. We want to celebrate cultural heritage where possible, and basically just build a more tighter knit community and provide more tailored, opportunities for the people who are, actively interested in this kind of a forum. So we're just, starting out here. We did have one in-person event a little while back, which was more of like a panel as well on, different topics about leadership and entrepreneurship and things like that. So we will continue to do these again. We send out surveys after all of our events, just to tailor the next ones even better to you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed. And we really, want to thank Skyda for taking the time here and, trusting us as well. Like we're a very new forum. But yeah, we have a website. We also have this post-seminar survey. If you can, take a picture, we will definitely send all this information out via email or Eventbrite as well afterwards. But would just appreciate, if you can take the time, it really does help us out. And, our goal is just
Well, Richa, I think you need to share the screen to show the
oh,
QR
I think
code.
Shayani is sharing, but is it
Yeah,
visible?
it's visible. Or maybe you can also add the link. Wait,
Yeah, let me do that.
in the chat as well. But the QR code will work for the survey, so it will
Awesome.
get to the survey as well.
Let me share that. But yeah, I also have a few folks here. You've heard from, me and Shayani, but we also have Moy and Mohini who are part of our leadership team. So
They
um,
are also here actually.
yeah, I think they're here as well. If anyone wants to add anything or, say anything, feel free.
All right, in that case, I will conclude my part at least. I have already shared a field guide on the chat. Download it. It will give you some information what we have shared today. Also, I think